Now regarding the new sanctions. First of all, there is nothing new here. Yes, they are of a serious nature for us, of course. This is understandable, and they will have certain consequences, but still, they will not significantly affect our economic well-being. This, of course, is an attempt to put pressure on Russia. But no self-respecting country and no self-respecting people ever decide anything under pressure. And of course, Russia has such a privilege to feel and consider itself on this list of self-respecting countries and peoples. Of course, this is an unfriendly act towards Russia. This is an obvious thing, and it does not strengthen Russian-American relations, which have just begun to recover. Of course, with such actions, the U.S. administration damages Russian-American relations. The U.S. consumes 20 million barrels of oil. They sell something and buy even more, mainly in Canada. So they produce 13.5 and consume 20. But the Russian Federation and Saudi Arabia sell more. Saudi Arabia sells about 9 million tons to foreign markets. Russian Federation, 7.5. So, our contribution to the global energy balance is very significant, very. And now this balance has been created in general, both in the interests of consumers and in the interests of producers. Breaking this balance is a very ungrateful job, including for those who are trying to do it. Sure, it is possible to replace some part of Russian oil exports. Of course, not all of it. This is impossible, but some part of Russian oil and petroleum products to replace it on the world market. But firstly, it takes time, and secondly, it requires large investments. It is not possible to sharply increase global oil production at the moment. But if the quantity of our oil and petroleum products on the world market sharply decreases, prices will rise. And my American colleague and I also talked about this. What will this lead to? This will lead to a sharp increase in the cost of oil and petroleum products, including at gas stations. What's important for us is that we feel confident, stable, and despite certain losses, of course there will be losses due to many circumstances, nevertheless, our energy sector feels quite confident.